Hi. So today we are going to be talking about workplace intelligence. I'm Sophia Rubio, and I am here with my fellow co-designer, Kim.
Hi, everyone.
So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about what we do, just as a little introduction. I here do a little bit of live streaming, as you can see me here, and I do video editing work. And how about you, Kim?
Yes, hi, everyone. My name is Kimberly, also a co-designer. I do a little bit of everything as well. I do some live streaming, the back end. I also do some graphic design. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do here.
So as we mentioned, we'll be talking about what workplace intelligence is, and that prompts us to our first question, which is, what is workplace intelligence? So I can ask you, Kim, what is your interpretation of what workplace intelligence is?
Yes, I feel like everybody has their own interpretation of workplace intelligence. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like workplace intelligence is kind of defined by skills that aren't necessarily learned. Like they're very important skills, fundamental skills. I know that currently they're referred to as soft skills, which is something we'll go into later on and why that term um, should it be used? But yeah, there's skills that are very fundamental for people to survive in the workplace or just in general, which we'll get into some more examples later on. Yeah, what about you, Sophia?
Yeah, I feel like the term like soft skills too, like it's something we'll dive into a little bit more too, but it doesn't fully capture what it is necessary that you need in the workplace because soft skills doesn't represent what the full aspect because workplace intelligence is everything. It's emotional intelligence, it's reading the room, it's just so many different things that cannot be classified as a skill because it is really intelligence. So, yeah.
Yes.
So that can prompt us to our next question on why is workplace intelligence a better phrase than soft skills?
Yeah. As I mentioned before, I think soft skills is a term that the majority of people use nowadays to describe these skills. But I feel like using the word soft kind of takes away its power and makes them not seem as important as they truly are. And I feel like these skills are very fundamental, like I said, to thrive in any workplace. Like they're more crucial than other skills. As important as those other skills are, I feel like these are even more important because they're skills that help you thrive in the workplace, as I just said. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of like touching on what I was just saying too. It's like it's workplace intelligence just describes the whole of what you need to be successful in a workplace rather than just having some skills, which is taught. Like you are taught skills by people. You're not necessarily always taught workplace intelligence. It's something that you kind of also pick up. Um, but yeah, that's kind of, I want to give some examples. Yes, some examples of workplace intelligence. Because I feel like we've been talking about workplace intelligence, soft skills, workplace intelligence, we haven't actually told what it is.
Uh-huh.
So, what are some examples? Kim?
Yeah, I feel like for me, a big one is just learning how to communicate. As simple as it may sound, it's something very important. It's something you do at your job, even with your family, at school. Like learning how to communicate effectively is a very important skill that I feel like you need to carry with you everywhere. So yeah, learning how to communicate, being an active listener, learning how to work with others, I feel like are the primarily like skills that kind of make up workplace intelligence, and also other skills like being self motivated, like within yourself, is a very important one. But yeah, what about you, Sophia?
Yeah, I think that even opens up conversation about like emotional intelligence and how
Hmm.
emotional intelligence ties in with that. Just because it's like as simple as reading a room. It's
Hmm.
like if you can't read a room, it's not a skill that's taught. Like you can't be taught how to read a room, right? So it's just like those things that you kind of pick up on, and it's like intelligence. That's really what it is. And there's kind of nothing soft, nothing soft about workplace
There's
intelligence.
nothing
No,
soft. Yeah.
no, no. Yeah, and it's just like reading the room, taking initiative, being the first one to like volunteer, let's say. And
Hmm.
it's just yeah, and that kind of prompts us. It's like how do you incorporate workplace intelligence into our everyday lives? Like how do you show workplace intelligence daily?
Yeah, as I was saying, I feel like these skills that wake up workplace intelligence are skills that I personally use on a daily. I personally worked two jobs and also went to school, so I had a lot on my plate, and I feel like these skills are something that I found myself using on a daily, whether it was communicating professionally with my boss, with my coworkers, being able to work as a team. Um, yeah, being able to communicate, manage my time, and just keeping myself motivated. Like that self motivation is such a crucial skill, I feel like, because yeah, I have so much going on, and I think just keeping yourself motivated is a very important one. And something as simple as just like I said, communicating, like whether it is you can't make it somewhere, can't make a deadline. I feel like that's a very important thing that I find myself utilizing on a daily. But yeah.
Yeah. And I ask you that, like, with you saying you have two jobs and you balance school, like, did anyone teach you how to do that?
Yeah, I feel like as we've already mentioned, I feel like there's skills that just kind of you learn as you go on in the workplace. Like there's skills that you just kind of learn. But yeah, like working two jobs, like there was a lot of things that I didn't know about a workplace. But yeah, I feel like these skills just kind of are things that you use on a daily, and I feel like I'm gonna continue learning as I continue to get more jobs. But yeah.
Yeah, like with work experience, you're gaining more workplace intelligence.
Yep.
And that kind of also comes where it's like, can you recall any situations in which you had to demonstrate workplace intelligence? Because I know I kind of want to add on to this question. Like you saying you have two jobs and you go to college, and I'm sure your jobs are very different. Here you are online versus being in person. Like, how does workplace intelligence shift, and like how is it shown? Yeah. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, of course. I feel like yeah, like especially like I said, for me, I feel like the biggest thing is just being able to communicate professionally, and I think that that's the like one of the big things that I feel needs to be like more emphasized nowadays. Like for example, like me, like I have so much going on that I feel like sometimes whether it is I can't make one deadline or make this, since I have like two jobs and also school. I feel like the biggest thing for me was just really learning how to communicate. Yeah, like whether it was with my manager, like oh my gosh, like I can't make this time, but yeah, I think that was just kind of the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, the biggest thing I want to say communication is also mine. I want to say, because even in my life, like my personal life, I feel like communication is so important to me. So even in workplace, I'm like, just tell me, let me know. Like if you can't make a deadline, or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by something, like if you have a lot on your plate, because I'm sure you have two jobs, you have college, like, there's a lot of room to be overwhelmed in a way if you don't like manage how much you're doing. And it's simple as just letting someone know, letting your managers know, letting your boss know, and letting your teammates know, because maybe they can help you out. They can take some of that off your plate, and all it is solved by simple communication.
Yeah, of course. And kind of just talking about teammates, I actually also wanted to mention teamwork is also a big thing that I've grown to learn a lot, working, with the BayhaGroup and also working at my other job. I think learning how to work as a team, like you may not always agree with like what your other coworkers think, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's important to, remember that you're there to work and, yeah, just being able to work with others and just try to be positive. Positivity is also something very big, like another workplace intelligence that you're not necessarily taught. Like just learning how to be positive, that positive mindset is also a big skill that kind of yeah, embodies workplace intelligence. But yeah,
because it's nice to work with people who are positive. It's nice to work with people who you enjoy working with. And I feel like that's also something that's not taught in schools, because I feel like when it comes to like group projects, let's say, there's always someone who does way more than the other person. There's always someone who does all the work, and like there's never a balance. And I feel like when you go to the workplace, it could be kind of disorienting, because you're like, oh, this is definitely a different type of project. Like everyone's expected to participate, and like, yeah, it's just very different. So I feel like having experience in the workplace, especially like prompts workplace intelligence and those type of things as well.
of course. Yeah. It's like being in a team sport environment. Yeah. This actually goes back to what you were saying. Like workplace intelligence isn't only used in the workplace. Like it can go to school, it can go in, your team, whether it's a sport team. Like honestly, and this is why it's really important. Like to really utilize these skills and not refer to it as soft skills, because I feel like that kind of makes it seem like, oh, it's not important, they're just soft skills. But in reality, it's more than that. It's important. Workplace intelligence, like Sophia was saying, like it kind of it means all of the intelligence, emotional intelligence, all of them just kind of put together. Yeah.
I feel like you can't like seclude, just because I feel like soft skills, it's related to work and related to like certain little skills that you can do, when in reality it's everything. It's all of intelligence. It's bringing like things you've learned in your personal life to like in school and everything, and just learning and bringing everything that you know into the workplace and applying that. So
Yes.
I think it's very important. And I guess our best example would be communication for the both of us, it seems. And I'm actually curious if anyone in the comments wants to disagree with our best example. There's probably other examples that you might think are better. Please let us know in the comments. We're open to that and seeing what other examples of workplace intelligence you might think are higher up on that chain. Yeah, I think that's kind of a basis that we wanted to cover on workplace intelligence and just debunking what's like the term soft skills, because really there's nothing soft. Nothing soft about workplace intelligence, no.
I remember like when I wasn't even familiar with the term soft skills, like when I would like search up like, oh, you know, like what kind of skills like are necessary in the workplace, like I would search up like, oh, like communication, you know, and it would come up as like soft skills, and I would think to myself like, I wonder why they really refer to it as soft skills. Like I feel like it's maybe something that a lot of us think, like I feel like these skills are so much more important, like that. Yeah, the word soft is just
That also brings up a point where it's like soft skills and communication, then that means communication is only required in the workplace, which is not true, which is why it's like just intelligence in general, because you can use communication in your daily life, which you should. So it's just so much more, and that soft skills cannot begin to cover that surface of what workplace intelligence consists of. But I think that's all for our stream today on what workplace intelligence consists of. I hope you all enjoyed some of our conversation, and thank you for joining me, Kim, in this live stream. We can plug our LinkedIns. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn if you are more curious. This is mine. And we can also have Kim. But yes, thank you for joining, and we'll be actually tuning in again on the October, in 2 weeks. To be determined. Keep up with our socials, and we will be back again soon. I'm excited to start live streams back again.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.